Hello, Dr. Hashmi here. Now, these videos is a part of my series of mental health and motivation. And this is my first video on this subject. The topic I'm going to talk about is one good deed a day, intentional. Intentional means you have to tell yourself after doing a good deed. I'm almost certain that you all do many good deeds in a day, but you don't tell yourself that you have done a good deed. There's a magic in it. Why? You have to tell your brain to acknowledge and recognize your good deed and stimulate your reward centers to make you feel good. Now, why am I saying that? Have you ever realized that our brain is the most laziest organ in our body? Look at our brain. How much brain do we use in our lifetimes? Few percentage. 5, 10, 1, 2% to its maximum capacity. Compare it with other organs. How much do we use our eyes? We look at things which we are not supposed to look at. Lungs, we fill them with all sort of pollutants, smoke and everything we come across. Still we expect it to continue working in a perfect order. Heart, we can't expect it to stop for a second. Tongue, use is generally 5,000 times more than what it is designed for. Our arms, legs, especially we end in breaking our joints actually. Several hundred times over what they are meant to be used. But when it comes to brain, we only use it just a few percent of its capacity. Why do we do that? It's not that we don't want to use our brain. It is because brain is a very lazy organ in our body. Brain is like a fat, ill-tempered, lazy CEO who just lie on his chair all day long and shouts in response to everything comes to it. That is the brain for you. You have to make your brain work. Now, if we leave brain on its own devices, it will do 3 things for us. Number 1, being inherently a lazy organ, it will do nothing. It will never trigger off our reward center, never stimulate the right sections or nuclei in our brain to make us feel better. Number 2, brain is in habit of putting things on a repeat. Recycle already existing information. Hence, it keeps on running the same old films which you have watched 100 times and got bored of it. And the third thing brain would do to protect itself is to make you believe that this is what your life is and this is what you deserve. Hence, as a result, we end in doing what brain wants us to do. Do nothing. Now, when you do a good deed and tell your brain that you have done a good deed, you have helped somebody financially, you have bought a meal to a poor person, you have turned your tap off when brushing your teeth in the morning to save water, and you have recycled an empty plastic bottle. It doesn't matter what you have done. Every little deed is important. Imagine, billions of us are on this planet. If every one of us does one good deed a day, how many good deeds will happen in a year? The world will become a best place to live. But we don't tell our brain we do good deed. So if you do any good deed, even a smallest one, and say to yourself, Samad Hashmi, you have done this good, what will happen? Your brain will be obliged to stimulate the reward centers, which it would not have done it otherwise. Once the reward centers are stimulated, you will start feeling good about yourself. What would happen then? The brain will lose control. You have started gaining control on your brain. Number 2, the brain will lose its power to put the old films on a repeat, because something new has happened. And when you feel good about yourself, you will realize my life is better than what my brain making me to believe. I deserve better. So what you have done? Just by reminding yourself, just by intentionally doing a good deed, you have broken all the 3 techniques brain play onto us day in and day out. Trust you me, whenever you do a good deed, doesn't matter how small or how big it might be, say to yourself, name yourself loudly, address yourself, tell yourself you have done this good deed, and gain control over your brain. Good luck. Do you know vitamin D deficiency could cause autism in your newborn? Hence, if you are pregnant, get your vitamin D checked straight away.